Today we are asking a chef and a normal home cook to review and then rank some festive TikTok food trends.
Here we go. Emily's cooking.
So a knob of butter, a smush of cheese, some spice,
It's a smushed sprout.
butter, what looks like could even be furikake, cheese, sprout. It's a cheese crisp with a sprout in the middle of it. I like the idea of any way to get Brussels sprouts into more occasions at Christmas, and it's a place that isn't just seated at the Christmas dinner table with a big bowl of them. Great.
I believe in anything that will make a sprout taste not like a sprout.
And that is exactly what I want to test, Mike. Can this make sprouts great again? Do you want to give some crispy Parmesan sprouts a go?
Yes, please.
So this could be a brand new way to make your Brussels sprouts this Christmas. Hopefully get more people eating them by adding flavours that they do like to something that they might not like. Do you reckon this could be a way to win over sprout haters?
Anything with butter, cheese and decent seasonings is going to be better if you don't already love sprouts, which I do.
I'm so glad you get to sit next to him for the next video.
It was the chair.
So what we've given you are some sprouts that have already been boiled. You've got butter, Parmesan, a few different seasonings. You're going to basically combine them all together and then smash your sprouts down.
Some nice softened butter.
Fennel.
This creator, Emily, used a mixture of oregano, garlic, pepper, salt, cumin, paprika and all-purpose seasoning, chili flakes and sesame seeds, but she's very quick to point out, use whatever you like. I think a little bit bacon might add a nice festive twist to it.
Festive? It's all year round for you, mate.
Could be wrong, but I don't feel like you're making this to add to the Christmas spread.
No.
It's a bit of a faff.
I actually see this as a good way for Boxing Day when you've got leftover sprouts.
Because they need to be cooked.
I have leftover sprouts.
Then a sprout.
Plop on a sprout and then we're giving you a glass just to crush it down. Might be a bit slippy.
Emily makes it look easier.
She does.
She's got bigger guns than you, Emmers.
They're quite wet.
What is your favourite way of eating sprouts?
Loads of butter, loads of garlic. I might parboil them and then finish them off in the pan to get some colour, because then I feel like you get rid of the sort of boiled cabbagey flavour. Bacon lard on
Yeah, I
string.
mean, you mentioned smoked bacon, I think works, pancetta, I think chestnuts is a wonderful, or walnuts, maybe some dried fruit, a handful of dried cranberries or sultanas through it, can give that little bit of sort of sweet to play off the brassica element. Right, let's get those into an oven.
185 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes, or into an air fryer, which is said to be one of the reasons that this kind of recipe has become so popular, is because of the rise in air fryers and the ease of making crispy, fried foods.
I'm interested to see how they taste, because on paper I think this is very good, accessible and legitimate, which isn't always the nature of these trends we review.
Well, let's see.
Okay.
30 minutes later.
Look at that.
Just like that.
Crispy, golden, and there's a sprout in the middle of that somewhere.
Wow.
Piled up, less of a looker, but very appetising, and I feel like people would just want to jump in and grab one.
And we've done a non-festive version of this before as well, because we did the onions.
Yeah.
And we've onion slices, people do them with potatoes, get them really crispy, add loads of flavours to them. I feel like this is a very versatile style of dish. Making it festive with sprouts feels like it should be a good idea, but the big question is, how does it taste?
I'm going in.
Should we brave it?
Yeah.
Give it a blow.
Oh yeah.
You saw how buttery, or how much butter we put under each sprout. That's almost soaked up into the sprout. The sprout has become almost a sponge for that butter.
I was going to say the texture's completely changed. Obviously it was boiled, crushed, and then roasted. But it's a really, you don't get any of the sort of like slight al dente bite. It's smushed, and like you said, the butter's soaked all the way up to it, and it's just a little butter sponge. And then there's all the cheese
The
flavours.
herb, the saltiness of the crispy
It
cheese.
needs the fennel, doesn't it?
And every time you get a little bite of fennel seed, you get that anise flavour coming through.
And I suppose you're in complete control as well in terms of how much you crush the sprouts down. You could completely flatten them, or you leave them a little bit bulbous so you get some of the original sprout texture in there.
Lovely colour from the butter and cheese combo. I think something like that
Really
could take a
tasty.
nice kick of chilli, or a hot sauce combined with cranberry sauce. It's like a cranberry sauce ketchup to dip into. 15 years of doing this, and I'm always surprised every Christmas when people come up with new inspiring ideas that are worth trying, and that's one of them.
Emily from Emily's Cooking has made crispy Parmesan versions of basically every vegetable under the sun, and they have millions and millions of views each. And this is just another one that has gone completely mad.
I like it, and you read some of the comments underneath suggesting other flavours or combinations, and there is nothing not to like here.
Well, the big question, crispy parmesan sprouts, trend we're going to follow fast or just scroll past?
I'm following fast.
Follow fast.
Off to a cracker of a start. Let's have another one. Mike, you have TikTok
Okay.
trend number 2.
We already know this is going to be good because it's Ollie. El Burrito Monster.
Excellente.
What is he doing?
Still got some Christmas gravy to use. And the cheese balls. So I'll grate some taleggio.
And some Burt's Blue Red Leicester, Bloxarella and some slices of
Gravy, loads of grated
in a
cheese.
fondue pot with gravy. And once all in, I'll add the ends of a cheap bottle of red wine. Cover and bake and heat up roasties, Yorkies and pigs in blankets. Add some sticks, grab a bit and have a dip. Then a pig and of course a Yorkie. Bash! And then here's my sister trying a porky.
He loves stitching his sister up. Fondue with Christmas dinner trimmings and gravy.
Yeah, crossed with like a French dip. French dip meets fondue with Christmas.
I loved the marbling of the cheese throughout the gravy
And a good cheese ball.
when it was lifted. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's a really good cook.
This is El Burrito Monster's festive fondue, and it could be the ultimate way to use up Christmas leftovers, because every household has leftover cheese from cheese boards, roasties, Yorkies, and some idiots even have leftover pigs in blankets. Ollie's combined all of these into something very special. Would we like to slow our heart rates down a little
Yes.
bit?
Yes.
So boys, we've given you everything you need to make your festive fondue. We have 5 different types of cheese. You've got raclette, mozzarella, taleggio, Stilton and red Leicester. You've got a gravy, you've got some red wine. All of that gonna go in together, lay it up. We'll whack that into the oven to get it all hot and bubbly. Pull it out and we can then put it on top of our flame and you can start to dip in pigs in blankets, Yorkies and roast potatoes.
Excellent. You ladle in some gravy, Mike.
Ebbers, as a chef, having watched this, what are your hopes and fears in all the years?
I'm kind of on board with it because it
You are?
merges two great things, which is fondue, which when you melt cheese does need some acidity. Traditionally, Alpine would come from a white wine. This is a red wine, which also makes sense because red wine gravy is like a French dip sandwich. So I kind of get both of those things combined, and therefore I'm quite happy with it.
More food is wasted at Christmas than any other time of the year because people buy too much, they eat too much and then don't eat everything that they've bought. So what a great way to use up leftovers.
Is there a chance that this could be too much?
100%.
Oh, but it's Christmas.
But it's Christmas.
Okay, right, gotcha.
Do you want to glog in the wine? Because his just kind of just went all on top, which I also thought probably needed stirring through, but he didn't.
I'm waiting for you to. Good. Thank goodness you did.
I've not put too much blue cheese in, Mike, because I know you're not a fan.
Thank you very much.
But taleggio is the king of cheeses.
Cheese fondue, obviously incredibly traditional.
And
Switzerland.
raclette, so very
raclette.
traditional.
Yeah.
on the top.
That.
Tin foil into an oven, and then we'll finish it on that, just as he did. The smells of this room.
I am worried that this might be too much for me. I mean, it looks. Oh, that's.
Silky smooth with cheese, glossy from the gravy. Goodness me, it's going to be hot. Merry Christmas, Ollie. I'm going to put it out there. That's not leftovers. That should be proudly designed, not hashed together with what's left over. I mean, it has been designed with what's left over, but I think just lead with that.
It's not too much, and it's enough to taste amazing. It reminds me of poutine, where the cheese curds melt into the gravy and, yes, potato fries in Canada.
Is it just for dipping, or could it be a pourer? Like Christmas dinner leftover nachos is where I'm thinking.
You filthy swine.
Yeah. Well, there's only one question left to be asked. The festive fondue, is it a trend we're going to follow fast, or just scroll past?
I mean, I'm doing nothing fast after eating that, but I am going to follow it.
What I love about it is that we have tasted it on your behalf, and yet through the screen you know exactly what this tastes like.
Yes.
That's what he does so well. Familiarity, but to an nth degree, and for that reason, it's another follow fast.
Boys, we're only halfway through. Let's crack on with number 3.
Let's see what Amy Shepherd's got.
This is my Murray.
That looks
Oh, this is like Swedish meatballs,
And you like pigs in blankets.
but instead with pigs in blankets. Making her own DIY with decent sausages, so not the silly little chipolata ones. Half a good sausage, ripped.
Fine ripened tomatoes.
Sun-dried tomatoes.
So good.
Sun-dried, yeah.
It's a
Chopped.
variation on the Marry Me sausages that I shared last year,
cream.
which was
Leeks
one of my
cream.
most popular recipes. So if you didn't want to include the bacon, just
Oh, wow.
use sausages. I have
This is
written
my
a recipe for
type of
this
flavour
below,
profile.
and I would love to
Amy
know if
gets
you've
it.
ever tried it
Yeah,
for Christmas.
that does the job.
Marry Me Chicken
Ah,
is a viral trend from back in 2022. It went everywhere, so good that if you made it for someone, they're going to marry you. That was how it came to be. What if we took that trend and made it festive by saying, marry me pigs in blankets?
It ticks a lot of boxes, and even the moment it started, we all just went,
Yeah.
ooh.
You know that's going to taste good.
So this video from Amy Shepherd Food has been viewed 2 million times and has spurred on a whole range of copycats as well.
So we've got our onions sweated off, to which we're going to add garlic and the sun-dried tomatoes. Now, was sun-dried tomato part of the Marry Me chicken?
Yes.
Because that's the bit that was news to me,
That
but I think
plus
it's
that and
delicious.
that.
Yeah, so good. I've not heard of it.
As a recipe, it's very close to Tuscan chicken.
Yeah.
But I think it's just been switched up a little bit, and when it went viral 3 years ago, went everywhere, to the point where now you can get Marry Me chicken sandwiches or wraps, like in Tesco. Onions are frying off for about 5 minutes. You're gonna add in your garlic for the final minute, and then going in with double cream and stock before adding sun-dried tomatoes, oregano, and parmesan. Once your parmesan's melted, in with your spinach.
An absolute shameless plug.
Here we go.
But Psychic also uses this kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Like every year we come back to, let's create some amazing recipe packs with the same ingredients, really, Christmas ingredients. Pigs in blankets, sprouts, roast potatoes, cranberries, chestnuts. Simple ways to use them that are inspiring. All three of these have been that. I'm pigging inside of the blanket.
None of that makes any sense.
Can I say what I did like about this video was excellent sausages. Buy a good butcher's sausage and just use half of it to make a pig in
Yeah.
blanket.
Yeah.
Wow, that is the one, isn't it? Sun-dried tomatoes and anything cream-based. Always going to taste great.
It does, and yeah, I always associate it with less dairy fat, sun-dried tomato, Mediterranean cuisine, as opposed to sort of the dairy fat of northern Italy or France, but delicious.
So one of the reasons that this is believed to be so popular is because it hits all of the areas. It's creamy, it's salty, it's tangy, it's umami, and it's sweet.
And honestly, if you get served this, you're going to be down on your one knee.
Okay.
Wow.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Marry me pigs in blankets.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that sauce.
Yeah, there's actually so much to be learnt from that sauce because it's simple and you can basically put it with most things.
I think it's arguably better than just if it was chicken breast or thigh or whatever.
Served in a mashed potato bowl, that is really great.
Yeah. Especially after Christmas, pigs in blankets will be heavily reduced at the local supermarket. Pick up a tray or two and stick them in the freezer and do this any time in January for just a lovely hit.
My goodness, I could eat that forever. I need to stop.
And what is marriage if not forever? Will you marry me pigs in blankets?
Yeah.
You know the question, marry me pigs in blankets. Is this a trend we're following fast, or are we just gonna scroll past?
It's easy, it's creative, it draws upon flavours that everyone loves. It's absolutely a follow fast.
Agreed.
Let's move on to number 4, and I think this one might be controversial.
Uh-oh. You've been doing so well. No pressure, Jay, but they've been good so far.
Mike, you have a message.
Dish, the podcast with Angela.
Sandwich filling. Christmas pudding.
Oh! I saw this very episode.
Be mad, isn't it?
Christmas pudding sandwich.
Then I think you put a little bit of the Christmas pudding. Then I think it's cheese on top of that.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna-
Hang on, so it's bread, Christmas pudding, cheese and bacon.
Oh.
You're debating.
It's not no. I think that'd be nice after a bender.
This is the Christmas pudding cheese on toast. Now, Christmas pudding and cheese, that's a thing, right?
Yeah. It works so well with cheese, with savoury.
It will work well with bacon because it's salty sweet, and there's the winter spicing throughout the Christmas pudding.
It's sweet, sticky, spiced pudding.
It's mad, but I can't wait to try it because I can't even imagine really what it truly tastes like.
Well, let's give it a go.
So we're going sourdough, butter, spread with a spoon.
Always the back of a spoon.
Into a pan,
Lovely way to serve Christmas pudding. Just slice it when it's cold and you get nice slices out of it.
I like Christmas pudding. Oh, that's got some brandy in it.
Essentially, sourdough, butter, Christmas pudding, cheese, melted, and then topped off with a little bit of bacon. So the reason that people say that this works is because the Christmas pudding is intensely sweet, rich and spiced. The cheese helps to balance that with the saltiness, the umami-ness and the acidity. So Richard E. Grant loves Christmas pudding so much that he says that he buys Christmas puddings in the January sales so that he always has a supply of the puddings throughout the year to make his favourite sandwich.
I have
Good idea, actually.
And I have to be honest, there is so much you can pick up after the occasion. And I would say the same big occasions in the UK, Mother's Day, Advent calendars, Valentine's Day. You can pick up delicious boxes of chocolate, bunches of flowers.
Christmas decorations is the one to go for.
Christmas crackers for next year. Interestingly, for me, as a chef, what I love with any cheese board, cheese toastie, is a dollop of chutney or pickle. And this hasn't got the acidity of a pickle, but it's got all the same ingredients. Dried fruit, all the spices, a handful of sugar that you would normally put in, with maybe some tomatoes, some apple to bulk it out. What I would do to serve it as a really delicious appetizer, maybe, because I think it would throw people at Christmas.
Yeah.
A delicious sourdough cheese toastie with Christmas pudding, some crispy bacon, and a red cabbage slaw that is vinegared and acidic, because I think it does need something else to balance it. That might come from a nice glass of port, which would be lovely and sharp. 50-year-old port, bring it on. Right, hot handle.
Oh, hello.
Wow. Good colour.
And I'd just like to take this moment to say Dish, the podcast, is one of my faves.
It's great, isn't it?
One of my absolute faves. Gratinated cheese on top, nice and golden underneath.
Bit of a 1975 port.
50-year-old port, yes, please.
Can this work?
How is that?
So good. We always talk about needing everything, and what I said this might have been missing was the acidity. Sometimes it's okay just to lean into it's just indulgent.
It really works.
And it's the spicing is so good.
It's not sweet, it's just sweet enough to add, like you said, that sort of chutney. It's not Christmas pudding forward. It's bacon cheese and then Christmas pudding undercarriage.
As a condiment.
An undercarriage of Christmas pudding.
It's made through the crunch of the nuts through the Christmas pudding.
Crispy bacon, crispy
But it's
crust.
the spicing again.
Yeah.
That just gives it a level of that's interesting, but deliciously interesting.
And what I associate with Christmas pudding is like a brandy butter. This has got the butter coming from the underside of the bread, so you get this buttery sourdough with Christmas pudding, cheese, bacon, a little bit of, I mean, that's optional extra, but that would make a delicious Christmas Eve treat or snack with the family. Richard is onto something.
Well, Christmas pudding grilled cheese. Boys, is this a TikTok trend we're following fast, or are we just going to scroll past?
You've been on a blinder today.
Following fast.
I think that's 4 out of 4.
It's really great.
Following fast.
Well, boys, you seem to like all of them, but the big question is, how would you rank them? Ebbers, we need you to rank the TikTok festive food trends from 4 to 1.
They were all really good. This is great. This is a dilemma.
Sprout, pigs in blankets, fondue, Christmas pudding.
That way.
No, is that, well, that's, you write those out and then I'll whack them with a ball. They were all great, which makes this very difficult.
You followed fast on all of them.
But they were all good for very different reasons. I think gravy dip is the best celebration of all of them as a showstopper showpiece, a very social occasion, right? You bring friends down and you put it in the middle of the table. That's what fondue is. That was delivering on that, which I love. But not everyone's going to have a chance to do it very often.
You kind of do need to have the variety.
But you kind of need to have variety
of
cheeses and stuff, and therefore it has to be a big occasion.
So you're going at this in a functionality perspective, are you?
Yeah, because sprouts I liked, but once I saw the creator and how many other vegetables they had done, I think it might arguably be even better with broccoli florets. So whilst I love the sprouts, I love that it could also be broccoli. It's going here. I think if it had been miscellaneous veg, it might have crept higher, because I love sprouts anyway.
Top 2 left to go.
Marry Me Pigs in Blankets is so damn good that it shouldn't just be left for Christmas. And why are pigs in blankets only reserved for December?
Not in my
Because we
house.
have sausages and we have bacon all year round. but the only time you will see them published on social media and magazines and on TV is at Christmas. I think that's a classic all-rounder. But it's not the best festive TikTok because Christmas pudding has got to be festive, and that is the one that I will be making this Christmas for family.
Amazing. Well, over to you in the comments. Do you agree with how Ben's ranked them? Let us know 4 to 1. How would you have ranked those trends? And let us know what we should be looking at next year.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you please give it a like. It genuinely does really help get this video to more people. And happy Christmas or something?
You know what else helps get it to more people?
What?
Send it to them.
No one does that anymore.
Send it to them.
Now give people an achievable...
Write the URL
a like
in the Christmas card, and when you send your Christmas card to...